Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Madeline Matuk, and I'm a sophomore at St. Thomas More High School in Lafayette. I'm here today to speak in favor of Senate Concurrent Resolution 52. In the last 20 years, our country has grown its debt from $8 to $18 trillion. This begs the question, how does the world's only superpower, with all of its resources, incur such a huge debt? I think that the answer is best explained by looking at the enormous growth of our federal government. Our founding fathers, who risked life and limb to establish the country as an independent and free nation, surely did not envision the situation in which we find ourselves today. In fact, I believe our founding fathers went to great pains to ensure that this situation would never occur. The Constitution of the United States, written by those same founding fathers, creates a nation consisting of individual, independent, and sovereign states, with the ability to govern themselves largely, independent of a central federal government. In fact, the Constitution limits the powers of the federal government. Over the last 40 to 50 years, the federal government has expanded its authority and its will upon the entire nation, seeking to create one unified state, as opposed to 50 independent states, as contemplated by the original Constitution. This expansion of our federal government requires not only an increase in income, which is done through heavy taxation, but also through the excess printings of our nation's currency, resulting in devaluing our dollar. When this nation was born, it consisted of independent and individual states, formed for the purpose of freedom from the tyranny of an oppressive central government. The Congress has whittled away our state sovereignty, and therefore, we, the next generation, must seek to restore the original intent of our founding fathers. This can only be done by our return to the principles and the purpose of the original Constitution, that is limited federal involvement and greater individual state sovereignty. Some examples of the overreaching of our federal government would include limitations on the amount of water we can use for our showers. The federal government has placed restrictions on the volume of water that can come out of a shower head in order to regulate water usage. Louisiana, unlike California, does not have a problem with the amount of water available for use. In fact, our water tables are so high, it sometimes presents a problem. Another example would be regulating the temperature on our dishwashers and washing machines, so as to prevent excess usage of energy. As we so well know, there is no problem with available energy resources here in Louisiana. Therefore, applying these regulations in Louisiana makes little or no sense. I can go on naming many more silly examples of federal interference in our daily lives, but you can clearly see my point. Therefore, I ask you support Senate Concurrent Resolution 52, seeking to return Congress to its original purpose, limiting its authority and its reach, and restoring the sovereignty of the individual states. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairperson, committee members, let me start by saying it is such an honor to be with you all today. My name is Anna Grace Scheffler, and I'm a sophomore at St. Thomas More Catholic High School in Lafayette. I'm very proud to be an American and to be born and raised right here in Louisiana. When Senator Cortez came to talk to my civics class concerning a convention of the states, what they were saying really resonated with me. Our country has strayed away from what our founding fathers intended this nation to be. They intended for this country to have a small and centralized federal government. They intended for the states to have power, and they intended for all citizens to have a voice. As of now, this is not how our government is. Our federal government has become so powerful that the states cannot exercise their basic powers that have been rightfully given to them. I realize that we are the generation that all of these problems, such as the $19 trillion deficit, will fall on if they are not fixed soon. It is time for the states to take a stand in order to save the future of our great nation, and I strongly believe that a convention of the states is the answer. It is time for citizens to take a stand, and it is time for America to get back to its roots. Thank you all so much for your time today, and I encourage you to vote in favor of Senate Concurrent Resolution 52. Thank you.
We only have one Congress. We have 50 state legislatures, and we have the power to rein them in.
Founding Fathers put an article in. It's called Article 5.
We've been blessed. Our founders knew that our federal government would get out of control.
We don't have to repeat history. Here's Article 5, states take back your power.
This is an opportunity.